Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the best video game podcast of them all. This is episode 1 of a Plethora of Video Games podcast, which is a monthly podcast where we talk about a certain game or series as a whole with myself and whoever else wants to talk to me about said game or series. In today's episode, we will be discussing the Pokemon franchise that differ in topics from best generation, our favorite Pokemon, and what we think of the direction of where the series is going. Thank you very much for listening to a Plethora of Video Games podcast, and I hope you enjoy.
Cool.
Alright, it's recording.
Alright, cool. I'll begin then. Hello, my name is Kyle Fevish, or better yet known as Business Ghost on YouTube, and I am joined today with two of my best friends and video game enthusiasts like myself, Rodrigo and Scott. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Sup, my name is Rodrigo. I love Pokemon.
Hi, I'm Scott, and I love video games.
At least I used to love Pokemon. I'll just say that.
Ooh, hold on.
Spoilers!
Uh-oh.
Well, like mentioned in the title and intro for the video, we'll be discussing the Pokemon franchise by answering a ton of different questions and rankings of the series that I have conjured up for the podcast discussion. But before we dive right into that, let me just begin by saying that this is, of course, going to be the first episode for this podcast. I've never done this before. I'm not sure if either of you have done something like this before, but this will definitely be my first. I'm hoping the schedule will be monthly, but it might also be bi-monthly. It depends on how busy my life gets and stuff, or what gets in the way. But every episode will be different. I'll have different guests on the show, and we'll be talking about different games or franchises that we want to talk about. But let's get back to Pokemon. So let's talk about our history of the franchise, and I'll go first. We're gonna answer 3 questions, with the first question being the first Pokemon game I've ever played or we've ever played, our favorite Pokemon, and our favorite type of Pokemon. So the first Pokemon game I've ever laid my hands on was on the Nintendo 3DS. It was with Pokemon Y. I think my sister came home from Japan or something, and she showed me her 3DS. And I haven't really set eyes or knew anything about the Pokemon franchise since like when she had it on the Game Boy, like a long time ago. Mostly because most of my friends at the time didn't play it, so I just wasn't really, I didn't really keep in track with what was going on with the series and whatnot. And I was blown away by the graphics for sure when I saw Y for the first time, and that was the reason also why I got a 3DS in the first place. So Pokemon Y kind of holds a special place in my heart. It also got me really into like the online functionalities of Pokemon game, and I've sucked in like hundreds of hours into the game, so I just adored every aspect about it. Obviously now, after playing all the other ones, I can kind of see why it's not like the greatest Pokemon game of all time, how I used to think that, but it's still definitely a good game. And in terms of my favorite Pokemon, it's kind of hard to say. I'd probably say Chimchar, just because I really like 4th gen a lot, and I love it when he turns to Infernape. He's probably like my favorite fire starting type of all time. I just absolutely love his designs. I just really like monkeys for some reason. And my favorite type, it's definitely Dragon or nothing really, because Dragon's like the best fucking type in the game. So yeah, that's it for me. Let's pass on to Rodrigo though.
All right. Well, my first game was on the DS. It was Pokemon Platinum. I think I got it because like my friend had it or something. I just saw him play it. I never played Pokemon, but I always knew about Pokemon. Like I was big into the anime and the trading card game, but I'd never actually played a game itself, like a main series game. So I finally got into Platinum, and I just had a really great time, honestly. And I would like sucked ass completely. Like Cynthia fucking destroyed me and everything, but like I loved it. And then I got into Heart Gold, and then after that I went back and played the other games, but yeah, Platinum was first. My favorite Pokemon is Mewtwo, just because, like I said, I grew up with the anime. Even though I came in Gen 4, I've been really, I've known about Pokemon since Gen 1. And I really like that first Pokemon movie, and I think that just really, sucked me into Mewtwo. And I play Mewtwo in Smash Brothers, and I just really like Mewtwo's design. When it comes to the typing, I would say it's Water type. I've just always found it comfy, I like drinking water. So drinking water is nice and comfortable. So I mean, I don't know, for me, water type just equals comfy, Like, I always have a water type. Every single team, like, even I know that you need one because of surf and stuff, but even without that, I just always been comfortable with water types. It's nice. It's nice, feely, comfy. And I mean, that's really it.
Okay. Scott, your turn.
Yeah, for me, my first Pokemon game was Sapphire, actually, on the Game Boy. And I was like probably like 8. So I was like really bad at it. And I never caught any Pokemon. And I remember I would have like a Sceptile. And it would be like level like freaking like 40 around there, like by the time I got to the third gym, because that was like the only Pokemon I would use until to the point where I didn't know how to continue or progress because I didn't understand the concept of like Rock Smash or how to teach my Pokemon that. So I kind of just stopped playing it, and I think the game actually ended up like stopped working for me. So, but like, I usually like to say though, Platinum was like my first one because that was like the one that's like, boom, like I beat the game, I owned it. It was the first Pokemon game I actually bought. Sapphire, I was just given by someone. I don't remember, but I remember I was given it. And my favorite Pokemon, it's actually Ampharos. I don't know why. I just really like the design of Ampharos, and it's not like a big shocker, no pun intended, but I love like electric types. Like that's like my favorite typing. Like every time when I play like a Pokemon game, I always have to pick up like electric type Pokemon or something to have on my team, just because I think it's just so handy. And not only that, it's like all the flying Pokemon that you always have to fight, like all those Zubats and like freaking annoying bird Pokemons. I don't know. But that's about it for me.
Yeah, there's certain types of Pokemon too that I must have on my team. Obviously, like the first two is obviously fire and water. That's like I need that. It's like a necessity for my team. I would say electricity is also a third one. But as the series kind of went on, and there's just been like more and more different types. I don't know. I just kind of mix and match what I have on my team. I used to think it was like important for me to have like a dragon type for like every game. But like after a while, like it was just like, I can probably like mix and match other things. I don't think I really need that. But I definitely think electricity is like the number one thing, like one of the other like number one things you need on the team. And I like how you mentioned like you didn't know how to like play the game very well. I think I played when you were a kid, that is. When I was a kid, I my sister let me play the original Pokemon Red on her Game Boy. And I also just had no idea what to fucking do. And yeah, and it was really annoying to play because I really wanted to get into it because I saw my sister and her team, like she like already beat the game by then, and she was already like trying to collect all the Pokemon, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And like I guess I just probably didn't read like the dialogue very well because I'd be like, where the fuck do I go? And I'd always just be really lost in a game. But I was always just really bad at games back like when I was a child. Like I couldn't beat the original Kingdom Hearts on my PS2 because I didn't know how to get off Destiny Island, which I don't know how. Like looking back when I was playing it, I was like, Jesus Christ, like I'm a really dumbass kid then, I guess, or I was a dumbass kid.
No, I get you on that one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's cool. I like how we all have we're also, we played Pokemon on different generations, or our first Pokemon games were on there were different generations, different handheld devices. It's weird thinking that the Pokemon franchise went from like from Game Boy to Game Boy Advance SP to DS to 3DS, and now it's on the Nintendo Switch. So it's been around for a really long time, and it just adds to the testament of the series. So let's transition this topic into our general thoughts and ideas for each generation. We're probably just going to start off with Generation 1 and make our way to 8, and just discuss, if we like it or not, if we don't like it, our thoughts and feelings on it, and, everything in between. I'll go first, and then we'll begin with Rodrigo and then Scott. So we're talking about Generation 1 right now. So Generation 1 is it's like it's my least favorite Pokemon generation for sure. I don't think the game is aged very well. In fact, I think it's aged like milk. It looks like shit. It plays like shit. A lot of things in the game were kind of broken, such as Psychic. Um, I was trying to play it like maybe a year or two ago because it came on the 3DS maybe 3 years ago, I think, and I remember talking to you, Scud, about it, and I was like, yeah, let's play it, and then we'll play Gen 2. And of course, just life got in the way, so I didn't do it. And then recently, I went back to try to replay it, and it was a fucking chore to play it for sure. I couldn't get past. I think I got to like gym 5 or 6, and I was just done by then. I can't really pinpoint it, and I don't want to, say that it's like, oh, this game's just bad because it's just old. But it's it is the first of its of the series, and I can't harp on it too much about it. But at the same time, when I look at games like the Mario franchise, for instance, I can go back and play the original Super Mario on the NES any day, and I'm perfectly fine playing that. I can go back and play Mario Galaxy, or I can go back and play Super Mario Brothers 3, and I enjoy all those games for different reasons. And even though the first one's very archaic, it's still like it still has its charm, and it still plays well. And the first game, I don't know, maybe it's because it wasn't my first Pokemon game. And I think it would have been different if, because I've also never actually beat it. I got to Gym 6 and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm not gonna put this in my bucket list of games I want to beat. It's just, lost forever in the endless games that I have not beat. But yeah, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on it though? Oh yeah, we'll go with you, Rod, because you're up.
All right. Well, the thing is, when we're talking about Gen 1, when as in the game that came out in 1996, yeah, I'm not really like a big fan on it. I never played Red or Blue, but I did play Yellow, and I think it's like around the same as you. Like I got like to like Gym 6, 7 around there, and I mean I enjoyed Yellow because like I don't know, it was very nostalgic to me, like just playing and seeing Jesse James, Brock Misty, like how it is like in the anime, because Yellow is a little bit different than Red and Blue, and I don't know, I actually quite enjoyed Yellow, like. It's still, yeah, I can see that it didn't age too well. And, I mean, I played it once, but I'm probably never going to play it again. And I've never played Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. I'm also not really interested in playing those games. But, as in, like, Gen 1, as in, like, Kanto in general, and, like, all the Pokemon, like, just as in, like, the remakes and everything with Fire Red, Leaf Green, I would say Kanto is actually really good. I really like Kanto. I think the designs are very nice, and I think like the gym leaders are very nice. Also, probably just because I grew up with them and everything. But as in like Generation 1 in 1996, yeah, it didn't age too well. But Kanto as a whole, I quite like Kanto. I think Kanto is it's very comfy. It's very recognizable.
Yeah.
Well,
plus the starters are all like badass, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. But like, I don't know. I don't think would Fire Red be considered Gen 1? I consider that more Gen 3 because it came out in that generation. How do you guys?
Yeah, it's Gen 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is Gen 3, but it's like it's still overall Kanto. It's basically the same game except for like they fix a lot of the buggy issues with like Gen 1.
Yeah, it's also weird to think the game has been like remade 3 times technically, or 2 times because of Fire Red, and then now with the Let's Go Eevee, because I heard that game is pretty much just Generation 1, and like, you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about it just because I didn't give a shit about it, but...
Unless you want to count second gen, where they kind of basically let you go to
Kanto so yeah,
again.
so 3 times. So 3 times this fucking region's been like copied and pasted.
And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver too. I mean, you got all those also. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's iconic, but your turn, Scott.
Yeah, like that's exactly the word I was looking for, is iconic or nostalgia. Like that's how I feel about because I played both Red and Yellow. Yellow I didn't beat because I didn't like having Pikachu on my team. But overall it was like I honestly liked the first gen. I think it's fine. There are a lot of issues though, especially with Psychic just being overly powerful and broken. I mean, hell, they even had Mewtwo as like the legendary just because, and he was like a psychic. So, but I mean, I like the gym leaders. I like the challenge it brings, and I like how adventurous it feels. I don't know. Like, it's the same thing as what Rod was basically saying about the other gen, like with the remakes. Kanto overall is just a great experience to go through, but playing Generation 1 definitely shows its age, and some of the designs are really weird, like Golbat. Like, look at Golbat, and it just looks disgusting. Like, he has his tongue out, and it just looks really distorted. I think they fixed it in yellow, though. They fixed a lot of the designs. Or look at Jinx, for crying out loud. Black face. Seriously. But yeah, that's like my overall feelings about it. I just like it. I like the story somewhat with Blue, your rival, best rival, easily. And also the gyms. I like all the gyms.
Yeah, also the thing about Gen 1, like how you mentioned, was like how adventurous it feels, because it's very not handholdy, which is something I'm sure we'll talk about once we get to the later gens. But like basically after Gym 2, I believe, like starting with Gym 3, you can pretty much battle Gym 3, 4, 5, or 6, maybe even 7, I'm not sure, in any order that you want. And like, I mean, there's, of course, it's better if you go in order, but you don't have to. And I think that's really cool. Like, you can basically just choose your own route without even knowing. Like I played Fire Red recently, and I like challenged Gym 6 before 5, and I didn't even notice. I thought I was doing everything correctly, but then I looked at my trainer card and like, oh shit, I just kind of did it wrong. But I mean, that's pretty cool that I'm able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll definitely be brought up in a discussion later, because I want to talk about, like, how I would, how we're gonna later on in the discussion we're gonna talk about changing the, how we would want to change the series. And I definitely do like that about Red, is that you have options to go like not whatever order you want, but like you have some free way to do. You can go to like Gym 6, or you can go to Gym 4 first, which I think is kind of cool. I didn't know that, actually. I've always just been going like, yeah, just 1 through 6. I didn't even know that was like a thing you can do. But I again didn't put too much time in it. I think that, like, last year it was like my second time ever playing it, and the first time I didn't get very far. So I definitely needed like your guys' input on this and how you felt. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again later on, but like really, it's just like it takes a lot out of me just to play that game. Like every time I play, I'm just like, I'd rather play like Heart Gold. I'd rather play anything else other than this, just because it's, I don't know, just not fun to me personally.
Yeah,
well, that's why they made the remakes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Just like, if you want to play Kanto, just play the Generation 3 version, the Fire Red Leaf Green version.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll definitely do that. I don't think I'm ever gonna touch Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu, just because I don't know. I just look at those games and they just look like giant cash grabs, and they look very boring. From a gameplay perspective, not because it's like, oh, I don't like the turn-based shit, because obviously I like it, but it just looks boring. Like how X and Y is kind of easy, and it kind of just looks like that carries over to that game. Is Fire Red, because I'm only halfway through Fire Red, but is Fire Red pretty challenging for you guys, you would say? Like,
yeah, it's like the same challenge. Well, slightly different, because now you can actually use like bug moves. Actually, no, I think there's only one Pokemon that can learn a bug move that you can actually use against Psychics. I could be wrong. I think it's just Scyther that you can teach him X-Scissor, and that's it. So there's still like the issue with Psychic still being overpowered, but they solved a big major issue with it, which is the idea that attack and special defense and all that, like defense and attack, like they were put together into one stat, I believe, and special was the same thing also. That's what made like Psychic broken, because special attack and special defense equaled the same. And I would even say defense overall was just overall the same with attack. So whatever your attack is your defense also. So it's like, with the idea of that, like, Psychic types just have really big special attacks, so it was like a big issue. Oh, I forgot to mention, like, I think the music is just overall pretty good, even in like the remakes, but like also in Gen 1, I just like it. I don't know, it's just something nostalgia. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah, the Blue Champion theme, that's really good. That's probably one of the best champion themes, even like the original 8-bit one.
Yeah, even like fighting the Elite Four is just a really like, whoa, it really does feel like, oh man, you're doing that. Or like Lavender Town, you feel like the creepy atmosphere with just the music.
Yeah, a lot of the remix songs like on Super Smash Brothers, like they're all really really good, and it's like wow, like they're like and when I'm playing that, it's like wow, they were able to like make this great song in Smash, and like just from like the little 8-bit song from from the Pokemon games. But yeah, like Lavender Town definitely stands out to me as like one of like the better songs of the whole series, just because of how like far off it is from like the rest of the game where it's all like yeah, like where it's all cheery and shit, and it's all fucking dark and depressing, and that whole portion of the game too is really unique to the series, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Because I don't know, this the game I don't I'm trying to think on top of my head, like does the franchise ever get like that dark afterwards? Because I don't remember ever getting like that dark with certain subjects.
No, not really. But of course, somebody's gonna say something about it, like, "Oh no, remember in this generation and this." It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty dark Pokemon, like if you look at their Pokédex entries. But as in like the actual story itself, like that's probably the darkest it gets.
Oh yeah, because like
actually
Giratina
talking
like
about Pokémon death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Giratina's like the devil and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was like, isn't that Pokemon the devil?
And then Drifloon like kidnaps kids.
Or like Hypno
Oh,
kidnaps kids. Yeah. Like he puts them to sleep and puts them in bags, and it's like, what the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, and one other thing, like before we move on to Generation 2, I don't know if it's just, I don't know why, but I always feel like I want to capture every single Pokemon in the first gen. I don't know why. It's like the idea, I guess. Maybe it's because it's like always hammered in my head. Like, first 150 Pokemon, capture them all, gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
So I just generally feel like that's the only generation that I generally feel like, yeah, I want to capture all the Pokemon in this generation. And no other generation has ever got me that same feeling.
Maybe it's because like there's so little. Like you're not like, oh man, let me open up my fucking encyclopedia for like the 800th Pokemon that I'm missing. It's only like a set amount of 150, so it seems a lot more tangible to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like, but even with the regional Pokédex, like not even bringing up national decks, like even with regional, I still don't have that drive at all. I don't know. It's just something about it. It just doesn't make me feel like, oh, let me capture it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like in first gen, it's like they constantly hammer that into your head. It's like Professor Oak. He doesn't tell you about the gym like thing. He just tells you go capture Pokemon, and it's like okay. And you only learn about gyms from like a random person who's like stopping you from progressing and telling you, hey, did you challenge the gym leader?
Mm-hmm.
So then it tells you all those things, and it's like maybe that's just because it's like the first game and they were trying to tell you all that stuff, but I think that way it got me into a different mindset. Not only that, like throughout the game you talk to professors, and each professor like gives you a new item. Like they'll be like, oh, if you want to get an item from me, you have to have at least caught 20 Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like each time and they don't tell you what the item is. They just, at least to my knowledge, I don't think they do. So it's kind of like this mystery of like, oh, what is it? And if you capture 50 Pokemon, you get the experience share. So it's like, it rewards you definitely for capturing Pokemon. So I just feel like it's generally like a good game to like, hey, capture them all. And I think they need to get back to that image. Oh, sorry. Spoilers.
All right. Well,
but overall, I would say Gen 1, because you said Gen 1's your least favorite. I would put Gen 1, like, as in Kanto in general, like, including remakes and everything, I would put Kanto, like, towards the center, pretty much, right in the center of, like, from least favorite to favorite. But Gen 1 specifically, I mean, even then, I would still kind of put center, because I really liked playing Pokemon Yellow.
Okay. Yeah, I never played Pokemon Yellow. I do know like Pikachu hangs around with you. I thought they made that game specifically for Pokemon like anime fans. If I'm not mistaken, that's the reason why they made that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and I heard they fixed a lot of issues with Pokemon Red, so I'll maybe have to give it a gander. I've had such a bad time with it. I'm like, there's like no point in playing it at my point of view, but. I want to go back to what you said, Scott. You said you liked the story for it, because I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Like, what story are you talking about that you really like?
Yeah, I know. It's like there isn't like a story, and like that's what I mean by it's good. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
there isn't really much like a story like fisted in front of your face. It's like you're only told go here's a Pokédex, here's a starter, here's your Pokemon, and like go catch your Pokemon, and then right after you're about to leave, like this fucking person goes up to you and he's already like sounding like an asshole to you, and then he goes ahead and says, I want to battle you. And if you lose the battle, he's like all like fucking like big dick person being like, haha, you're so fucking weak.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you win, it's like he's still like fucking smug about it, saying like, "Oh, I'm still better than you though," or something like that. So like throughout the whole time, it's like you're just encountering this, and then you hear about Team Rocket, which they're just doing like mean things, and you're just like generally like, "Oh, why are you doing mean things? Stop doing that."
Yeah. It feels like
So
like a cute adventure more so than like oh hey, hi, I'm a kid, oh wow, what is this, the distortion world, what the hell, like why are my organs inside out, or like something
yeah,
like that.
it's like you're not. They don't picture you as like this fucking person that is like the hero that's going to save the Earth because the Earth is going to be destroyed because of this. It's like it's just generally like, hey, you got this guy you don't like who keeps calling you names and is like a fucking asshole. You got this Team Rocket that's like just being stupid and mean and trying to steal your Pokemon. And then you got this random gym challenges, but you're doing it because it's like they reward you with something, with money or like with a TM, a move that you can use. So it's kind of like, I don't know, nothing feels like 100% forced. You get me? It's like it's just happening. Things are just happening, and you're just involved, and you're just doing those things because you're just involved.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
like it's a simple story of kid goes off an adventure, he runs into some mischief, and some like chaotic comedic stuff ensues. I gotta collect them all. I do like how it's a very simple story and it doesn't take itself too seriously, which I think later in the series it definitely does. Not even not even way further. It's like 2 generations, like because like Alpha or with Sapphire and Ruby. Like it's like, oh, you gotta stop these people, like these 2 legendary Pokemon from like destroying the Earth and blah blah blah, and it starts taking it up really seriously. So
it's like, why is this champion, this person who's like the best trainer in the world, is telling a 10-year-old to go, who is like a nobody and who has just gotten like 8 gym badges, and to tell him, hey, you need to save the Earth.
mm-hmm.
Why? Like, I guess in a way it's like it's still the same thing until that point at the end of the game where it's like, oh yeah, you just have to do it. And like with Giovanni, the leader, who you end up finding out is like the final gym leader, and he's just like, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna gamble because he's like a gambler. If I lose, I'm gonna like get rid of a Team Rocket.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, all right. I don't know. It's not like how the other games where it's just like, my plans, I was just trying to be, a good guy and save the world, but I'm actually not saving the world because I'm a dumbass 10-year-old boy, solve my problems.
Really tries to make you think kind of story.
Yeah, it's just like you're not, I don't know. That's how I say it. And also I really like that part is you just, after you beat the 7th gym and you go straight back to the beginning of the game, and then you go back to the first town and you're fighting Giovanni, and it's just a nice little like circle that I like the idea that everything just came around, and then you just rock into the grass and you get attacked by level 2 Rattata, and you just summon out your fucking Charizard that's like level fucking 50, and you're just like, wow, I came a long way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good turnaround. All right, yeah, I think we're done with talking about first gen.
Yeah, let's begin with Generation 2. So I'm gonna be what am I gonna say about it? I have really no opinion on it because I've never actually beaten Generation 2. I beat Heart Gold. Oh no, I'm sorry, I beat Soul Silver, but that's not technically Gen 2. So I have no actual opinion on the original Gen 2. I was kind of gonna shoehorn you two in so you could tell the audience what you guys think about it. But I have no opinion on that or Generation 8. But we'll get to that later as to why I don't have one on that. But go, Rod.
Well, actually, same. I've never really played the original Gold or Silver or Crystal. I mean, I remember like I knew someone that had it, and I think I like borrowed it, but like I'm not gonna count 4 hours of gameplay. But I mean, I have played Heart Gold, and I mean that's badass. But I can say Johto in general is a really good region. I know that Heart Gold and Soul Silver are like known to be like the best Pokemon games. Like that's what a lot of people think. But I mean, we can talk about that more once we get to Gen 4.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so then I guess I got to be the saving grace of this.
Yeah, we
podcast.
gotta hear your opinion on it. So,
honestly, it's about the same as what I would have to say about Generation 1. Like, of course, they made things a lot better. Like, they introduced the Pokemon following you behind. That was a really cool mechanic. They added the day and night cycle in for the first time in Generation 2. The Pokemon in there generally I think are decent. They're not like whoa, but they're pretty good overall. Like nothing really bad. And gym leaders, it's just like okay. Like I think a lot of them are kind of forgettable. Of course, until you go back to Kanto and you go ahead and do that, and it's just like whoa. You get to meet all of them all over again, but they have like stronger Pokemon, and then you see Blue, who is like gym leader also. But like, I do have a problem with Team Rocket. Team Rocket's pretty bad in there, but I guess that's like story relevant, so we could talk about that in 4th gen. Because it's like basically 2nd gen is almost identical to like the 4th gen remakes. Like it's very like the same. Like there's barely any difference except for like of course the graphics of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like story wise the same. So that's why I'm just trying to talk about gameplay mostly to just quickly go through it. There's also they still have that issue though with the stats. Like the stats still had that problem, and psychic types were still broken in that game. Oh, what else could I say? I think that's about all I can really say.
Well, I'll say that the Gen 2 rival... Oh, my bad. What were you going to say?
Oh, well, I was going to save the Gen 2 rival like for later also. Mm-hmm. But of course, I only played Gold. I didn't play Crystal. But Crystal plays, I would want to say, almost the exact same, I believe. I don't know. The story is like also kind of like the same too, like how I would have to say is like, oh, you're just on an adventure and you're just in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the Gen 2 rival is probably my favorite rival because I remember you saying that Blue was your favorite. I would say Silver is my favorite because he's like Blue but like just more criminal. He's like a criminal Blue, which I think is even better.
Yeah, and then later on he redeems himself.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, and also the end game where you fight Red, that's also a really cool mechanic. I think, and then the egg Pokemon, like you can now breed. Like it's, I want to say it was like the exact same thing as what it is now. But that's all I could say about it, really. Music is pretty good if you like 8-bit sounds.
It's in color too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in color. It's a lot better than yellow color. Like the yellow is just all it is just like one area is like has that shade and that's it. While this one it's like different shades. Like you can see the road is like a different color than that building, and it's just like that where a town will have like different colors in it. It still doesn't look all that great, but I mean it's better than what they did back then. It was like a definite upgrade. There was definitely a big upgrade from 1st gen.
Yeah, it was a really good sequel.
Yeah, it was a really good sequel. Like it was great.
I don't know how I feel about the starters. Like I really aesthetically wise, I really do not like the Generation 2 starters at all. Even though like I like Cyndaquil, but like I don't care for that like dildo plant looking thing. I forgot his name or whatever his
Chikorita.
name is. Yeah, and then the crocodile Pokemon.
Yeah,
I forgot his
Totodile.
name too. Yeah, he's just like he's fine. He's just bland. It's just like what kind of Pokemon? Oh, it's a crocodile. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Cyndaquil is kind of cool because like reminds me like an anteater. And then stat wise, I don't think any of them are really that good. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I thought even Cyndaquil was like kind of slow for compared to like other fire starters that you can get.
Yeah, like I would say the starters are pretty mediocre, even though I really like crocodile the Totodile. I really like him. He's like my favorite out of all of them, and I would even put him like top 5 as my favorite. I don't know why. I really like his design.
Yeah, for alligators, really cool. His final evolution.
Yeah, I think for alligator is just a really cool Pokemon. I like him more than Typhlosion. And of course Magnanium. I think that's the name. I'm probably butchered it. Yeah, I never used that Pokemon. But Bayleaf looks cool. I like the second evolution.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, what else could I say? I don't think I have anything else to really say about it. It's just a really good, cool experience to see. And it's very nostalgia. Like, I would say the only reason why you should play, like, first and second gen is just for nostalgia's sake. There really is no reason to pick it up again. Because the remakes it fixes everything. And it's just significantly better.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
So,
okay. Well, with that, we'll transition into Generation 3. So, with Generation 3, it
Too much water.
Yeah.
Need too much water.
Exactly. But with Generation 3, I like Generation 3. I do think the HMs and TMs at that point are pretty annoying to deal with, but I really, really like the starters. I would say if Generation 4 didn't have good starters, I would say that Generation 3 is like my all-time favorite. Design-wise, I love all of them. I'd probably say Chico is my favorite, but I also really like Mudkip. I like all of them. Graphics are great. Gameplay is pretty solid. I never played what's that one with Rayquaza? Emerald? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Emerald.
Yeah, I never actually got to play that. I've heard mixed opinions on that, if it was good or bad. I've heard it was like broken. I heard it wasn't. I heard like with some certain Pokemon, but yeah, overall I think I like Generation 3. I don't really care for its remake all that much. That might just because I think it's kind of boring and it's just too easy compared to the original one. That will also be brought up in discussion later of the difficulty with the Pokemon series. I just like the older games just because they present a challenge to me, and it's not just mindlessly pressing like the same attack thing every over and over again. Although it's kind of how it is like before, but like I felt like you had to actually really train your Pokemon to get up to that level. Whilst in the newer ones you don't really have to do that with like experience share and other stuff. You can just kind of mindlessly level them up, and it takes really no effort. But what things did they put into this game? I know they put in like other TMs, I think, like I forgot what the ones.
HMs they added was Dive. That one I know for sure. I'm not really sure on the other ones, but the TMs are pretty. Yeah, they went more hard, like focus on the TMs in that game. They did do a lot more TMs.
Yeah, and that shit is pretty annoying sometimes, but like I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it. I did have like a slave that would just make him do everything. I forgot which one for that game I gave, but I definitely had like one just designated to do that. So I think my team was like only like 5 people overall. I just had just the one bitch Pokemon. But I like it. Story wise, it's okay. It has a big environmental message to it. I like. I find it kind of cute. I think if I were to put it on like a personal I'm putting this on a list of like my favorite Pokemon game, I'd probably say Generation 3 is like my 4th favorite generation. So kind of in the middle with it, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
What about Fire Red?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Fire Red, I've only played a couple hours into, so I can't really say. But so far, it's a major improvement from the original, and I'm actually enjoying playing it. Um, what can I say about it? I mean, besides some graphics, obviously, it has a huge graphics upgrade. I like how it's a lot more balanced, it seems, with the Pokemon. And overall, I'm enjoying what I played so far, but I haven't beat it yet, so I don't want to definitively say, oh, this is my opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
right
right,
then.
Rod.
So Gen 3, I'll start off with Fire Red and Leaf Green just to get Kanto out of the way before I go into Hoenn. All right, so
Yeah.
for Fire Red, Leaf Green, I really enjoy that game. It's very solid. The thing I don't like about that game, because it pretty much has all the goods from Gen 1 plus extra goods, but the negatives from that one is how they don't allow you to evolve Pokemon that they gave evolutions to later on. For example, like Golbat to Crobat, because it was really annoying because I had a Zubat in my team like the last time I played the game. It evolved to Golbat. I'm like, all right, cool. And then it was trying to evolve to Crobat, and it wouldn't let me. And it was just very annoying because every time I would level up, it would go to the evolution screen every single time, and then like as soon as it was about to evolve, it would just be like, huh, something went wrong, and it was just so annoying. Like just having to press, just like having to see that animation and be like every level. So eventually, I just dropped my Golbat and I just got something else because it was just annoying. And I don't see what the point of that is. Like I get it, they want to keep it original, but I mean it's just annoying either way. And then same thing for Heart Gold. We'll talk about that next, but like since I'm already on that subject, I got a Togetic, a Togepi evolved into Togetic, and it wouldn't let me get a Togekiss. I mean, it lets you, but like they don't have the stone. They don't let you get the stone until you beat Johto and go into Kanto, and it was just very annoying. Like I hate how Pokemon does that. You know, they don't let you evolve your Pokemon on the remakes, even though it got an evolution later on. But I'd say that's the only thing I don't like about Gen 3 when it comes to Fire Red and Leaf Green. But other than that, Fire Red and Leaf Green, they're great. They're just Gen 1 but better, pretty much. And then when it comes to Hoenn, Ruby, Sapphire, I've played Ruby. I own Ruby. And I think I played a little bit of Emerald. I think I like stole it or something from my cousin. But then like I felt bad, so I gave it back. But I own Ruby. And I mean, I never really passed it because too much water. I got to like the part where the water was just so much and I hated it. Because I know I was saying that water is super comfy and water is my favorite type. When it comes to Pokemon typing, water is my favorite type. But when it comes to surf, waterfall, dive, and all those HMs, I fucking hate water. Same thing with the caves. Because like when it comes to wild grass, you know, you'll know if you're gonna come, like you can avoid the grass. But when it comes to like surf and stuff, you can't avoid surfing, and you just need to get a bunch of repels. And I just hate it. I really hate surf. So just seeing how Hoenn was filled with that, I think it's cool region wise, like it's a cool idea, but gameplay wise, it's just annoying. Like, and I never played Ruby. I never passed Ruby, and then I did buy the remake, but same thing. I did pass that one because I really wanted to just pass it to see what the hype was for Gen 3. Because I remember when the remakes first came out, everyone was hyped. So I played those, but even then, like, I just hate the water. Like, I know it's such a stereotypical, like, argument and a very meme argument, but I stand for the meme. Too much water. I hate it. Too much water. But I mean, the Pokemon themselves. I mean, I think Gen 3 Pokemon are really good. I like them all. Like, they have really good Steel types. They have really good starters. When it comes to the teams, I do like how there's two teams. You know, like I think that's good because if they're gonna have two different games, two different versions, like Ruby, Sapphire, I I do think it's good to like, try to have more exclusives to make it worth it. Because I think it's dumb how there's two different versions, but the exclusives are so minimal. So I do like when they have really good exclusives like that. So how they had the Team Aqua and Team Magma exclusives, I think that's a cool idea. But the actual teams themselves, I mean, I don't think they're that bad. I would say they're the same as Rocket, because I don't really like Rocket that much. I think Rocket's kind of boring. I think Giovanni's cool and mysterious, but other than that, Rocket just kind of like they're just kind of annoying. Like they don't really like have a big goal. They're just kind of like mean, and it's just kind of I don't know. I feel like the police could take care of them easily, but there is no Pokemon police. And then for Gen 3, the teams I'd say they're around the same. Like I don't really hate them, but I don't really like them either. Because there are some teams from later on in the Pokemon games where I like them, but these early teams like Rocket and the Gen 3 teams, I just don't really care for them too much. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Just too much water. I know it's a meme, but it's a good meme. It's a true meme.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that meme, and then like when I actually played it, I was like, holy shit, like they were right, and like I didn't understand why people got upset about it. But I think it's because like the original game got like a way better score, like a 9, and then like the remake got like a 7 or something. I forgot how that went. But yeah, definitely that region. I do like the region and stuff. I like the ideas of it, but yeah, it's pretty annoying to go through, especially when it's like I don't think there's very many fire types too in the region, and fire type is like also like probably like my second favorite type. So it was a little like discerning that there wasn't very many in the game to begin with.
Yeah, when it comes to the rating, I would say Gen 3 is it's probably tied to being my second to least favorite generation. It's a tie between Gen 3 and another gen that we'll talk about later. But yeah, I don't really care for Gen 3 too much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you done, Rod?
Yep.
Okay. To just quickly also do the same thing what Rod says about Kanto. I'm just gonna with the Kanto remakes. Yeah, they're just phenomenal. Everything that we agreed with Gen 1 and like all the issues that we had pretty much got solved in that game. So it's still really good and playable, and it looks amazing. But now talking about Hoenn, however, with Generation 3, it has a lot of problems with it. For one, I really, really hate the rivals in Generation 3. They're really bad. Like May or Brandon, whichever female or male that you choose. Yeah, I think they're just whatever. They're kind of lame, and they kind of just fight you here and there, but they always like get happy when you beat them, and it's just like, why? I just beat you. Or like this person that is like a sick person named Wally. Like you help him catch his first Pokemon, but then it's like he gets better as a person, and it's like I feel like I wanted to root for him more than me to win, but then you beat him in the last fight, even though he overcame so much, and then you just like went, nah, I'm still stronger than you. It just makes me feel like I'm blue. I'm the asshole. And I think all the Pokemon in that one is also really good. I think the starters are all really good, like top notch. If I had to rate like the starters, like they're like probably the second best, like altogether, like in the out of all the other games. And just on design and like usefulness, like they are really like great stats and great move sets, and yeah, like I said, great design. Yeah, too much water. At least too much water in like the third gen, but the remakes, I feel like they made it so much better. Like they fixed it, in my opinion. I don't know. And I don't like the champions, either one of those. I'm not talking about Sapphire because I never made it that far, but I did make it far enough in Emerald. Yeah, I don't like the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the champion isn't really that interesting.
Yeah, it's just really bad. Like Steven and also
Wallace.
Whatever Wallace. Yeah, they're both like really lame.
Oh, I forgot about Wallace. I hate Wallace too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like them. And with Emerald, it's like it's okay. Like I don't necessarily hate this generation, but I can't say like it's like a good one to start off playing. I feel like it's one of those that you can just like eventually you can lead up to playing that if you want to. Like it's like below what I would call like the like a good game. It's like below that. Nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just like it's just not a good. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good generation. Minus the remakes, not talking about the remakes of Generation 1, just talking about Hoenn. Yeah, I don't think they're just that great. But, like, Leaf Green and Fire Red, like, if you have not played those, like, you need to get on it.
Yeah.
Like, those are, like, a must-have. Like, if you haven't played those, you have to play those.
Mm-hmm. That's where I fucked up.
And, yeah, like those are a must-have to play because they're just really good. Same thing what we said about Gen 1. It's all the same things, except all the bad things fixed in that game. So it's like honestly, in my eyes, I could call it easily, like the most perfect Pokemon game. Like if you never played Pokemon, that's gonna be the game I'm gonna say you need to play first. It's like that's has to be. And it's so easily accessible too. Like you can get an emulator on your phone, and you can play it on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is the most essential
illegal.
for sure.
I mean, don't do the emulator. I mean, go buy the game at your local game shop.
I'm just joking. Like fuck that. Like Nintendo doesn't. Does that even re-release anywhere? I don't think you could buy that anywhere except like the original version or like something on eBay, like a fake copy of it.
I don't think it's re-released anywhere.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's all I can really say about third gen. It's just, it's whatever. That's all. It's just like forgettable, and I don't like the evil teams. I think their goals were really dumb. It made no sense. Like, oh, no more water because we need more land. There's not enough land, and it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? If you take out the water, where's the water Pokemon gonna go? And then, like, I get it. Like, they weren't gonna take out all of it. They were only gonna take, like, a portion of it. But still, like, just taking out a portion of it would be, like, drastic. And same thing with the ocean people. Like, oh, we need more oceans. And it's like, but then it's the same issue. It's like, but what about you? Like, you are a human. It's like, that's even dumber. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna drown.
And we took an environmental science class. Like, what the fuck?
But like, I overall like the 3 legendaries. I really like the legendaries. I like Kyogre, I like Groudon, and I like Rayquaza. I think they all look good and like phenomenal. Great legendaries.
Yeah, design wise they're really cool. I think stat wise they're also really good. Well, I don't know about the first 2, but I know Rayquaza is like very broken in that game.
Mega Rayquaza?
Oh my goodness, I heard that's even worse.
Yeah, he's like broken. Like you can't even use him online.
Well, yeah, like
Well, you can.
I definitely will not like. Oh yeah, like let me go replay Generation 3. Like let me go play Ruby. I definitely don't have that kind of love for the game. But like it's a game that I think it, should be played. I would honestly recommend playing the Generation 6 remakes more so than actually playing the original ones. But that's also kind of like it's kind of hard to say that too because I don't really care for that game either on Generation 6, mostly just because it's a little boring. But I feel like it's a little bit easier to traverse the region more so than the Game Boy version, which the Game Boy version can be a little frustrating sometimes, like Rod pointed out. But yeah, overall, I still really like Generation 3, especially for Fire Red and stuff.
Oh, I forgot to mention about the secret bases. I think that's a great mechanic. It failed in the 3rd generation, but the remakes made it significantly better, and like I actually really like it, and they should bring that back. I really like the secret bases. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, talking about bringing back, that's just a big Pokemon problem. They just don't bring back like good mechanics. Because I mean, speaking of Gen 3, it didn't have Pokemon following you, and I mean it's not really a big deal, Like I know some people really want that. I'm okay without it, but I think it's better with it than without. So I don't like how they didn't bring that back. And just in general, Pokemon just doesn't bring stuff back. Like I see the point that they want to have exclusives to regions. Like, oh, Region 2 was when it had the Pokemon following you, and then Region 3 had the bases, you know, but also just I think it's a good idea to bring back those kinds of things. Bring back good ideas. That's what every other game does. So, I mean, that's it. Gen 4 now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I think
Let's
all right.
let's
Cool.
yeah, let's go to Generation 4, which is my favorite Pokemon generation, and it exceeds my expectations tenfold. I think it's not only my favorite, Pokemon generation, but it's also one of my more favorite video games of all time. Especially with Platinum. I've not played Diamond or Pearl, just because I heard Platinum's just the only one you should really play. It not only comes with Platinum, which is a fantastic upgrade from Generation 3. I love all the starters. I love the story. I love the ending with you going to the Distortion World. I love all the Pokemon that are in the region. I like how it's on the DS. And then it also comes with two fantastic remakes, which are Soul Silver and Heart Gold, which are arguably, to some people, are better than what's it called? How did I forget the name already? Then Platinum.
Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, sorry, then Platinum. But I like all three of them the same. Honestly, there's so much to talk about with this game. I don't know. I remember playing it in like senior year of high school, and I just fell in love with it. I felt like the team I had within that game was pretty solid. I took a picture of it. I don't know where it is on my phone, but I used to have like a picture. I took a picture. I was like, oh wow, I'm like so proud of this team. It was also a really long game. It took me like at least 50 to like 60 hours, I think, to beat it. Especially when going against Cynthia, which she's arguably my favorite champion out of the whole series. Fighting her team was like exceptionally ruthless. I think I barely won against. I think she took out like almost all my Pokemon except one. I don't remember which one it was, but he like pretty much carried the rest of the of the match. But I love the music. Story wise, it's okay. I'm not really a big fan in the story, like all the stories in general. I just think they're kind of whatever. They're serviceable. But that one I vividly remembered like the music a lot. I like the gameplay a lot. Obviously, I love that all my team I found within the first 10 hours, or even actually maybe even before. Like I found when I got Chimchar, and then I got Staraptor, and then I got Luxray, and then just the team kept building and building, and by like I think the fourth or third gym I had the full team set up, and TMs weren't really a big issue in the game at all, at least from what I remember. It's just a really well crafted Pokemon game, and a really well crafted game in itself. I love the challenge for it. I love all the legendaries for it. It's just a great game that's definitely my favorite Pokemon game. So, Rodrigo, it is your turn.
All right. So, yeah, I would also agree that Gen 4 is my favorite generation. I also haven't actually I have played Diamond or Pearl. I forgot which one because I played Platinum first, and I probably played Platinum like a good 5 times already at least. But I remember once I got a copy of Diamond or Pearl. I forgot which one. I tried playing that one, and I mean I don't know if it's just because I played Platinum and Platinum's just superior, but I couldn't get through Diamond, or I couldn't get through Diamond at all. I like got to like second gym. I was just like, all right, there's no point of playing this. If you're gonna play Gen 4, just play Platinum. So Platinum's badass. I like you said, the Distortion World, that's really good. I hope that if Gen 4 gets remade, I hope they include the Distortion World and don't leave that out. And then Cynthia, of course, I would also probably say best champion. I really like Cynthia. I also do like Lance, just because Lance is very challenging. I'd say I forgot to bring that up when we were talking about Gen 2. I mean, I can bring it up right now because Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I guess. But Lance is my favorite champion just because he's the most challenging. I just like challenging champions. And I don't know, the 3 Dragonites, I know it's a big like meme. A lot of people think it's like bad that he has 3 of the same Pokemon, but I really don't care because that just makes it harder. But yeah, Hardcore, Soul Silver, also amazing remakes, really good games. I'm actually playing it right now. I just beat the Johto Elite Four not so long ago, and right now I'm in Kanto. It has amazing post game. And I mean overall, just Gen 4, like I don't really feel like listing everything I like because I would just be talking forever because Gen 4 is just great. I'm trying to think of what I don't like. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's anything I don't like. Team Galactic is great. I do like their whole story. I don't know, they look kind of funny, but other than that, I mean, they're pretty cool. I like in Platinum, I like how their story ends with Cyrus just staying in a distortion world. That's pretty badass. And I mean, I have nothing else to say but positivity about Gen 4. So I mean, that's really all.
All right. For me, I never played Diamond and Pearl, but I did play Platinum, and that one is by far my favorite Pokemon game of all time. Like, that's my game. I just really like that like Pokemon game. Like, if I could say what's, like, in my opinion, the perfect Pokemon game, like, that to me is like the perfect Pokemon game. And I think it was like also just a really good one because it was like Diamond and Pearl had a lot of issues. Not a lot of issues from what I can tell, but like Platinum fixed it and made it even better. And I really love the idea that you were able to capture Giratina, and then not only that, you're able to capture Dialga and Palkia. And by the way, that's like those three are like easily the best legendary Pokemons I've ever seen. Like, they all look really, really good. Every single legendary Pokemon in 4th gen is really, really well designed. Like, yep. You got Regigigas. That fucking Pokemon just looks so cool. It's one of my, like, that's like the coolest design legendary out there. And then you got Arceus being like the god Pokemon. Like, God, man, all of them are just phenomenal, great legendaries, and the starters are the best. I like every single one of them. Like, I love Infernape, I love Torterra, and I love like Empoleon. I think Empoleon's like my like least like one out of the other two, like out of all three of them, but they're still like top best ones in my opinion. And I love every single gym leader. Like, I can name them, like, all. Maybe that's just because I played this generation, like, a lot. But, I don't know. I can just easily say, like, they are all really good and all somewhat challenging to me. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're relatively challenging, in my opinion. Like, I think they're just tough if you're not, like, grinding. I don't know. Just, like, a tad bit. And like, even just not even talking about the starters, like, every other Pokemon is also just really good. Like, I even probably like them more than the actual, like, starters. Like, you got Luxray, which I love even more than all the other starters, like, because I don't know, I just like his design. It's just so cool, though I wish it was Electric Dark, but whatever. And Staraptor just looks so cool also. And they're all like good. Of course, people can complain about Luxray being too slow, but I think he's still really cool. And, like, Shellos, Floatzel, it's like, I don't know, Buizel, like, all of those have, like, just amazing designs. And then, like, the Team Galactic, I think they're just a ruthless team. It's like, wow. Like, they're all goofballs, but, like, the leader, like, he's, like, scary. Like, he's just hates everything. He's like a school shooter. I don't know. That's how I can see him. He's just a school shooter. And then talking about the music alone, it's like, it's my favorite also. Like, I've even listened to like the like music just off of just listening to it because it's that good. It's all of them. Like Jubble Life City, it has like a really good music. And I remember, like, playing Generation 6, like, X and Y, you can actually talk to somebody and they'll play Jubble Life music, and it's, like, even a piano version of it, and I just got goosebumps from just hearing that. It was just, like, I don't know. The music in Generation 4 is really good. The Elite Four is super challenging. Like, I had a hard time beating them. Maybe it was because it was, like, my first time fighting the Elite Four. but it's just so memorable. That game is just very nostalgic to me. Like it's really a great Pokemon game. And then talking about Soul Silver, I do have, now I can actually talk about my problems with it. I do have an issue with it. I don't like going back to Kanto. I know that's like usually everybody's favorite, but I don't like it because it's like you go there and then your Pokemon are like super high level, and it's like you're just beating all of the like gym leaders super quickly. And not only that, it feels weird because it's like I'm just flying like everywhere, and it just doesn't feel right to me. I mean, yeah, I could just not fly in Kanto and just like do the whole path all over again, but it's just like, I don't know, to me it's just it doesn't feel the same. It just feels like, okay, let me rush and beat all these guys so I can beat the Elite Four again and then go ahead and fight Red. Because I will say the Red fight, absolutely great. And same thing with Lance. Lance is super well-designed champion. I really like him, even though he has like 3 Dragonites. But that's what makes it like hard. It's like 3 Dragonites. That's a pretty hard challenge. And then Cynthia's, I think, in my opinion, even harder than his. Just because their team is so varied.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you mean by you just fly everywhere when you get to Kanto?
So, like, what I mean by that, it's like, okay, I went and beat. Let's say, like, I went to, because the first town you go to is fighting the electric gym, right?
Yeah.
So you go fight the electric gym, and then you go ahead and you probably will go maybe to up to go to fight the psychic gym leader. I forgot her name. I think it's Serena.
Sabrina. Yeah.
Sabrina, there we go. And you fight her, and then you can go over to like the grass town, I guess, and then the poison gym, and then you at that point you just fly over to like where Sabrina. I don't know. That's how I just feel. I might be wrong, but it's like it's because you're so overpowered. You're just going, through the whole thing, and it's just like, but why? Like you're just wiping these guys off the mat. Like it's not even a competition, even though they still have like hard, challenging Pokemon. It still just feels like, I don't know. I'm just really me spending time in Johto takes a longer time than me being in Kanto. Like, there's nothing there. Like, no story progression, no nothing. It's just going through Kanto. Like, it would be nice, except for, like, you get to see Blue on Cinnabar Island, and Blue's like, oh, okay, I'll go to my gym and you can fight me there. That's about it. Everything else is just, like, I don't know. Nothing to do there. Like, it would have been cool if, like, another team was there, or, like, Team Rocket is there, and you got to go through that whole thing. Or maybe, I don't know. I just feel like it's just really bland being there. It's like nothing is really happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. We had different teams, different experiences, but for me, I'm playing it right now, and I wouldn't say it's easy, honestly. Like, I went into because I beat the champion with my Pokemon like mid-level, no, like level 40s. All my Pokemon are anywhere from like level 38 to 41, let's say. Mm-hmm. And then like the gym leaders in Kanto, when I went to them, they're all like 47 and stuff. So like they're all like 5 levels, 6 levels higher than me. So like, I don't know. But I mean, we all have different experiences. Maybe you grinded more than I did, because I didn't grind at all. But I mean, to me, it's not easy like at all. Like I was struggling, and I'm playing it right now. And I'm struggling with some of the gyms, of course. Some are easier than others, but I don't know. I guess it just differs, though.
Yeah, I don't really remember like grinding myself in hard gold. Like that's why I kind of liked it, was because like it felt like it was a nice change of pace from platinum, because I did have to grind a lot in that game. Hard gold, I pretty much just plowed my way through like everything in Johto, and then when I went to the original area, it was just like, I don't know, nothing was really too hard up until I got to red, and once I got to red, it was like, oh shit, I had to grind a little bit, but even then I was able to beat him after a while.
You know what? Maybe it was just because my team. Because honestly, like I said, I had a Togetic, and like throughout all of Johto, like fighting like, like the Elite Four and Claire and all these difficult battles, and I would have like a Togetic the whole time with low HP, and I have no good TM, so I can't teach it like Flamethrower or Thunderbolt or anything. And then same thing, I had a Scyther, and it's just so difficult to get a Scizor. I couldn't get a Scizor till I beat the game, like beat the main game, and then I can go to the SS Aqua, and then like I have a Dragonair, and it takes like to like level like 45 or something to get a Dragonite. So maybe that's just because I had a shitty team. Not necessarily a shitty team, but a team that I just couldn't evolve. So I mean, maybe that's why it was a little bit harder for me. But I don't know. I think I had a hard time with like certain gym leaders like Whitney and Claire, the Elite Four, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think your team was definitely like really bad because it wasn't like fully complete yet. You know, you still didn't have a Dragonite. And I'm going to say this, Dragonair fucking sucks. Doesn't know a like single dragon move, and if it does, it doesn't even matter because it's so weak. It's going to get outclassed hardcore.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty annoying just having to go through the Elite Four and half my team isn't at the final evolution. That really annoyed me.
Yeah, like I remember fighting Claire, the 8th gym. Oh my god, I had such a hard time fighting Kingdra because Kingdra only has one weakness, and that's a dragon move. And all I had was a Dragonair, and it wasn't Dragonite, and I wasn't gonna grind because I usually grind around like level 55 before I go into fighting the Elite Four, and that's probably why it's so much easier in Kanto because it's like I'm just speed throughing it because it's like I'm over leveled. But I do that because like Lance is that hard. It's like you have to like get a dragon. Like I'm not saying you have to have a Dragonite, but if you have a Dragonair, you have to get a Dragonite before fighting Lance. It's not gonna go so well.
Yeah.
If you don't have one.
Low key, I
Unless
cheated.
You got like.
I used Ho.
How did you cheat?
I used Ho.
Oh my god!
I just
you know what I did.
I went through it and then like. Yeah, I went through it and I like just fucking. I couldn't even pass the first Elite Four member because my shitty ass team. So I was just like, fuck it. Just for now, I'm gonna just replace my Togetic and put Ho-Oh. And then like once I got my final team, I'll come back and rematch it for real.
So that's actually an interesting thing to bring up. Do you guys believe in using the legendary Pokemons onto your teams? Like, would you use them?
I mean, I do it. I mean, when I first played Pokemon, when I was like first playing my first games, I would do it. I remember having a Giratina on my team. I think I had like a Moltres on my team once. Like, it's fine, but the thing is, it just makes it easier. So it's really just up to you. Like, I personally don't want to have an easy experience, so I don't put legendaries. But I mean, there's really nothing wrong, I guess, with putting a legendary.
Yeah, there's like nothing in the game that like tells you it's like wrong. I mean, I guess like if discussing with us, it's like, oh wow, you used your legendaries. Wow, what a bitch. But I mean, like other than like talking about like what team you use, I don't really see a problem. Maybe like I know competitively, like if I was like in a competitive kind of thing with friends, I'd be kind of annoyed just because it'd be like, hey, like that Pokemon is obviously way more of a power than the regular Pokemon. Like what the heck. But when you're just playing the game by yourself, I mean, it's just you can use whatever team you want. Like I remember playing Generation 6 again on X and Y. I think I had Yuska. Like you already completed it and like had like all the like most of the Pokemon. And I was like, hey, can you give me this, and this so I can have a whole team right away? And it's like, oh, right, cool. And like I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of like when you like start the game up because it's like you want to go out and actually find them and do it yourself. But like in that instance, I was just really lazy and I was like, fuck it, just give me the Pokemon I want. Like I want a good team. I don't have to worry about like going out and finding them. But when you're just playing by yourself, I don't think it's a problem if you want to use your legendaries.
Yeah, I don't see an issue either. I just know it's like a thing that a lot of people do, but I think it's just elitism, like where people are just like, oh, you use a legendary Pokemon on your team. Oh, I don't even need them. I'm that good. It's like it's kind of like that elitism in Pokemon. I remember I used Giratina like when I was like a kid. Now I don't use legendaries just because it's like I rather have them as a trophy. But then it makes me feel bad because it's like, oh wow, I captured this Pokemon so it can be in my PC, just so I can look at him and that's it.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother topic of discussion. Like the ideology of like, let me put this animal in a ball and making him fight. It's like it's pretty much just like cockfighting, but like. But more globalized, the whole universe is like. I mean, the whole world is like
because
in on
it's
it.
like, I don't know. You just want to be like, oh, let's work together. Let's be the best that we can be. You know.
Let me chain up my animal
You know what?
into
Well, that's
a
a
ball.
that's a good segue to Gen 5 because in Gen 5 they talk about that.
Oh yeah, great job, Kyle.
Oh, I totally forgot. Yeah, shit, I forgot about that storyline in Generation 5. But yeah, let's talk about that. So right off the bat, I haven't beat White 2. I actually really do not like White 2. I found it really fucking boring. I don't know, maybe it's because of a certain time in my life. I just like really wasn't into it, but I was away somewhere and like I think I was gone for like 6 months, but I tried playing it and it just really wasn't vibing with me. And I know it sounds really like a cop out with it, but I don't know why, because I really liked the original White. I actually really enjoy that game. It was really fun playing through. At the top of my head, I can't think of like the big differences between Generation 4 to Generation 5. There were a couple downgrades, I guess. Like, the Pokemon don't follow you, which is kind of sad from like Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I was hoping maybe like, I guess, obviously that's inconsistencies with the whole entire series as a whole. But with Wyatt at the top of my head, I can't really think much of it. I just really liked it. I'm not trying to say it's just like a whatever game like Generation 3 with Sapphire, where I'm just kind of like, it's whatever, play it if you want. This game, I'm like, oh yeah, like you really should go out and play Pokemon White. It's just not nearly as memorable to me as like Generation 4, which is like kind of hard to say because that one's like my favorite generation. But White 1 at least is really good. I like the legendary you get in that game. Story wise, I do like how they finally bring up, of course, like, Pokemon, like, or I believe it's like the enemy organization, right? They're trying to like make it so Pokemon are free. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's like a plot. I don't know. The plot gets pretty much. It's like team. What were they called? Plasma.
No.
Yeah, Plasma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Team Plasma. At first, they're just like pretty much that. Just like, Pokemon shouldn't be used. Liberate them, even though they use it themselves. But then later on, there's like a twist that like, nah, they're actually just bad guys. And that's just kind of like a cover up for what they actually want to do or whatever.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not someone really keen on the Pokemon stories. I'm just kind of like whatever about it. They're there. They're just there to me personally, and maybe that's just because I'm like, I don't play them for the story. I play them to collect Pokemon to play with and create a good team, and then and also battle against friends. That's kind of like my main drive for it. And the stories have just never captivated me at all. I would hope one day they would, but it doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen. What else can I really say about this game? Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy it. I just can't top my head right now. I just can't think of much for it. It's just like, it's not, again, like it's not boring or it's not like just whatever like Generation 3. It's a really good game. I'll have to go back and play White 2 again. But yeah, for some reason that game just irked me the wrong way, and I got to like the city area, which I don't remember how far in the game that was, but after that I just kind of gave it up and I was like, whatever. I do like Braviary though, and the trash Pokemon is definitely not good, but on like the stupid ice cream Pokemon, I can't remember some of those, but they still had good Pokemon, but they definitely didn't have like the best. Especially coming from Gen 4. Because I had such a high from Generation 4 going to this one. It was like, it was all right. It's still good, but, that's how I feel about it, at least.
So what do you think about, like, I know they say Gen 5 is really when it changed. Did you feel that change, really? Like in the Pokemon series?
Difficulty-wise, no. Gameplay-wise, not really. It didn't do anything too far left field from my mind. I'm not really sure why that is too. Why people like say that's where it changed. Because to me, Generation 6 is where it changed. It shifted into another direction, a direction that I didn't really care for. But to me, Pokemon White is still a classic Pokemon game with the likes of 4 and 3, and even 2. But yeah, I don't see that big change. I don't know if you do or not, but I don't.
Yeah, I remember when White and Black first got announced, and I just remember the whole like controversy behind it. Like everyone just like, I think at first everyone didn't like it because the Pokemon just looked very different. And I don't know what it is, but there is something about the Pokemon that do look very different. I feel like they got like a different team of designers or something, because they just look. I mean, I still like them. I think they're cool, but they do look different. But that's not a bad thing though, because I think they have a lot of really cool designs. Probably some of my favorites are in Gen 5. I really like Gen 5. Gen 5 is my second favorite generation. 4 and then 5.
Okay.
And I like I fucking love the Black 2 White 2 thing, because I mean the whole having a sequel to the games, I mean it works sometimes, but a lot of times it's just kind of like it's just a cash grab, you know? So I think if they were to have like, instead of doing a Pokemon Gray, I think it was a pretty good idea they did a sequel, like a 2, because like the gameplay is a little bit different, like story wise, like it's not the exact same story with just some couple of changes. It is the same story, but not a couple of changes. There's like more changes, you know, different gym leaders, different, like the evil team has a different plot this time. And I just like how it looks visually. It's my favorite Pokemon game. Like I love the animation. I love the bridges. The cities are pretty cool. That big like New York city, I actually really like that city. It is a little bit too big, but I do really like that city. I like walking around that city. I like the whole camera angles. I love how they experimented with the camera angles. It wasn't just the same angle every single time. Like the bridges, you know, it had like little movements as you moved around the bridges. There was different angles in the cities, and I think it was Kalos actually. I think it was Gen 6, the one where it had like the sky view and like running around the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
But Gen 5 is really when it started experimenting with the camera, and I really like that. And it just looks cool. I love the music. I love the animation and like the battle animations. The Pokemon finally started moving around and not just like standing still.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like how they had, I believe that, I mean, post game you could catch old Pokemon, I believe, but like in game, post game, they just kept it to the black and white. They just kept it to the new Pokemon, which I think is good because, you know, it just feels more of a change. I do like I don't think it should be forced. Like you can only catch the new Pokemon, but like I always get new Pokemon anyways. Like every time there's a new region, I just always make sure to get new Pokemon just to experience something different. So I really like that. And then how it was like 150 of them or something like that. Like that's cool. Like it's a good amount. I know like later on they start doing like 80 Pokemon and stuff, which is still fine, but I think the more the better. And the story wise, I mean, like obviously it's not a like good story. It's not gonna like get like top 10 IGN like stories of video games of all time or whatever, or Watch Mojo. But I mean, I like how they tried, you know, and with the whole like, I think the plot's pretty funny though. How like they did the whole like, oh, like is it good that we're doing this to our Pokemon, like using them to battle and stuff. Like it's very interesting. I mean, it's all something that we've all been thinking of anyways, and that they finally addressed it in Pokemon. Like that was pretty cool. But then in the end, it was just kind of like, yeah. And in the end, the answer is just yes. Like yeah, they like it. They like being in PC boxes and stuff. So I mean, at least they answered it, I guess. Like it's just kind of, you know, it's pretty silly, I guess. And I do like the rivals. I forgot to mention Gen 4 rival. I really like him. Like he's like, usually I'm not a big fan of the friendly rivals, but I think he was a pretty cool friendly rival.
Same.
He was goofy, and he wasn't just like overly nice, where it was just annoying and unrealistic, you know.
Like Wally.
And but I like these rivals. I think the Charon, Bianca, they're fine, you know. And then I think he's a really cool rival. And what else could I say about Gen 5? Oh, the remakes. Not the remakes, the sequels. Black 2, White 2. I enjoy them just as much as the originals. Like I would say they're slightly better because they have better post game with the World Tournament. But other than that, I mean, I would give them both like, I don't know, 9 out of 10 or whatever. Just one's maybe a 9.1 out of 10 or whatever. Okay. And I would say that's really all. I just love how it looks, how it feels. I like the whole build up to it. I remember the Pokédex was like leaked, and so we all just kind of like knew about the Pokédex without the announcement. And it was just a big deal. Just I think that's really the first game that like I got into like the release of, because usually I would be like, oh, new Pokemon game, cool, I'll wait till it comes out. But when this one came out, like I was like on like Cerebi.net looking at all the news that would come out, like looking at all the leaks at like on their magazines and stuff like that. So I'm sure that has to do with it too. But overall, I would say that yeah, this is my second favorite generation. And yeah, I would say that's really it. That's all I got to say about that. There's really no big negatives.
That's cool you mentioned that at the looking up stuff online for Pokemon games, because unfortunately for me, like that started in Sun and Moon. That was like my only time I was like, wow, that's a cool Pokemon. Like I was really like into looking it up. Before that, I was kind of just like, I'll just wait till like it releases and stuff like that. Or I just I just dive right into it and stuff. So that's pretty cool though. I do like the graphics a lot. I think I had a conversation with you or Scud if I liked the graphics. They're really good. Yeah, I know like there's a huge like there's like still a debate online if they're good or not, but I thought they were pretty unique and definitely an upgrade from 4th gen. 4th gen, I actually remember playing. I went back and played a little bit of it. And I forgot how fucking slow it was for battling, just to like do a move. It's just like bing, like wait a couple seconds, attack. And in Black and White, it was so much faster, and I really like that because it speeds up the process of like when you're like going to like grass and it's like random battle, well whatever. Like I know in like Platinum, it kind of annoyed me a little bit how fucking slow it would be, but like when you have like an emulator, you can speed it up. But like I don't know, it's still kind of annoying.
Yeah, it just looks really good. A lot of the moves look really cool, like especially the signature moves for like legendaries and stuff like that. I think that's when they really started doing like really good animations for the moves. Like it wasn't just like water shoots out like like very awkwardly. Like they started paying more detail and starting Gen 5. All right, what about you, Scott? What do you think?
So I own both White and White 2. Right now I have a friend borrowing White 2. And like all of the time that I had those games, I never touched them until now. Like not like touch, but I did touch them, but I never beat them because I always got like very bored. And same thing with you, Kyle. Like in the White, I don't know why, but for White 2, I did the exact same thing. Like by the time I got to the desert, like I just stopped playing. It was just something about it that just made me not like it too much. But I definitely forced myself to play White. I was like, I have to play this before the podcast because I at least have to say something about 5th gen. I used to be a person that really hated 5th gen. Like, without even playing it, I hated it. Just because I don't know why. It was just something about me. I think it was because of me hearing about the trash Pokemon, the ice cream Pokemon, and all these YouTubers I would follow all kind of like said shit about it. And not only that, like, I thought like the starters were really bad. Like, I actually think they're like one of the worst ones like we've ever gotten. It's really bad looking. I don't like any of them. I mean, stats wise they're fine. It's just the design of them I just don't like at all. And with the rivals, now I'm just talking about White 1. I thought the rivals were actually really cool. I liked how each one had like a goal, or like not a goal but a personality to them.
Yeah, like
Charon was like, I want to be strong, I want to be the strongest. And then the champion Alder would like put all these like questions into his head. Like he didn't straight out tell him, it was just more like asking those questions like, what's the point of being strong? What will it do for you? Like, is it gonna be the results that you're gonna want? Right? And then Charon kind of realized it's not like being a Pokemon trainer isn't all about being strong, which that's like the big thing with the game, with like this generation. It asked a lot of like these questions, like that a lot of people I felt had. Like for Bianca, like she's one of the questions that a lot of people think of. It's like, wow, these are 11-year-old people going out on like walking to towns. Like why? Like that's dangerous, isn't it? But of course, like with Bianca, it's like, they solved that, I guess, kind of. And then Charon, like talking about like, oh, I don't really care for these cute fucking Pokemons. I don't like cute Pokemons. I like the strongest Pokemons. And it got into those kind of ideas as well, like, oh, it's not about being the strongest, you know? And it's about actually like wanting to take care of these Pokemons and like learn with them, I guess. So I like that they brought in some of those like questions, and of course the whole Pokeball thing. Team Plasma, I didn't really like them. I don't like that there's no admins that you fight at all in that. It's just a bunch of grunts.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to say though, like, it was a pretty hard challenge. Like, I think I had a hard time with White. Again, it could be my team that was it, and I only played it once. But I honestly like had a hard time with Getsus, like at the end. Like, I thought that was ridiculously hard. And then I also had a hard time with the Elite Four. Like, I remember I had a grind before the Elite Four. So I think the game was probably the last game that they came out that actually like had a challenge to it before the next generation. That's when it started getting really easy. But fifth gen, design wise, I don't like too much of the like you're a pixel and everybody else is a pixel, but this whole city's like 3D. Like it, I don't like that. I actually don't like it. I think it just looks wonky and it looks weird. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't work well. But I'm glad they did it because it led to what it is now with how good it looks. And it had to happen at some point where they had to evolve the game. It had to start evolving and catching up to what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Story-wise, it's probably the better one of all the Pokemon games. But it's still not like something great or wonderful. It's just, you know, it's a story. It's a thing that drives the plot, and that's fine. It does its job at doing that, but nothing really else. It's a Pokemon game. Like, plots are not all that great. Mm-hmm. Go play BioShock if you want a great story. But the Pokemon, honestly, I think the Pokemon are fine. Like, whoever talks shit about like the trash Pokemon and like the fucking mushroom Pokeball, the ice cream, the mushroom Pokemon, like, come on, you get off your high horse. Look at fucking Generation 1. You have Muck, literally, like, is stupid, and then you got a snake Pokemon. It's like, and even a Pokeball that evolves into being an upside down Pokeball. So it's like, it's not like a big deal. Like, and there's overall really good Pokemons in there. And I actually really like the legendaries. Not Zekrom, but I really like Reshiram. I think that's a beautiful looking Pokemon, and I really like the design on that Pokemon. And I like Coffee Grigus is like design too. I like his design a lot. But I do have to say this is one of my least favorites. I don't like it too much. It doesn't feel memorable at all to me. But it was, I will have to admit there was a lot of good things that they did.
Yeah, how I said earlier, like I don't think it's bad at all. I don't think it's great at all either. It's just kind of like, I don't want to say it's okay, because it's definitely like better. It's not like, it's above average for sure. And I think it might be a little bit better of a game than Generation 3. With like Ruby, Emerald, and stuff like that. Yeah, but like the second game, I don't know what got you, but like for me, I don't know what happened. I was really bored with it. I like how you said that. I really don't. I like how you brought it up. I like how. Oh, what's it called? I don't really care for any of the starter types. I'm a big guy design wise for Pokemon. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, I'm a big guy for like design wise for my Pokemon. I do care about stats obviously when I'm playing it, but like I feel like looks go a long way for me too when I wanted a team. Like if your Pokemon's ugly and it has great stats, I sometimes I won't even pick it just because it's like, nah, I'd rather just have like a aesthetically better looking team. But yeah, all the starters are they're just ugly looking. I would say these are probably the worst starters out of all of them. But then Generation 7 happened, and then now I'm like, okay, never mind. And
yeah.
Well,
and it's just like, I sorry for cutting you off, but I do have to agree with what Rod was saying, or you, I don't remember, but somebody said like this doesn't like they don't look like Pokemons, and I have to full 100% agree with you. Like Generation 5 definitely doesn't look like Pokemon. Like the Pokemon in there don't look like your like if you took like a comparison of like the older Pokemon, it's like it's definitely a different style. Very different style is definitely shown. Or maybe they were slowly going up to that point. Like maybe 4th gen, it's like was a mixture of this, I could say. And then they just went full on crazy with 5th gen.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I heard about White 2 having like really good end game. I wish I made it that far to really do that. I was hoping to get my game back, but I didn't. So I couldn't be able to play it, but I might play it, maybe not. I don't know. I think it's just overall like a boring generation. I don't like it too much.
Yeah.
I don't like exploring. I don't like going to town like in this game for some reason. It's just something about it I just don't really like.
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint it. Like, I thought it was because maybe I was just burnt out of playing the other Pokemon games, or I was kind of just like, I don't really want to play this, but like I took a year off from not playing Pokemon games, and I went back and I still didn't like it. And I feel bad too because like my friend Zach, he bought it for me for my birthday because I was really getting into Pokemon for a while, and he was like, oh, like you gotta play this because it's like my favorite Pokemon game. And I'm like, okay, and like I just played like 2 hours, and I was like, nah, this game is not for me. And that was definitely probably just because I was bored of the series itself, but I don't know. There's definitely just something about it I'm not really too fond of.
All right, I'm back, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, but perfect timing that you came in. I think one of the big things about, and it's like a thing that I'm trying to understand if it's what I feel. Like I watched like the Pokemon anime like from 4th gen, like the Diamond and Pearl, like, and I liked it. And I never watched the 5th gen, like Black and White. And part of me feels like maybe like the reason why I really like the 4th gen is just because of the anime, and I got to see like a different perspective of it. Like I got to see the gym leaders as being like more like there was more story put into them. And maybe that's why I grow more of an attachment to that game. And same thing with like the previous generations also. And then when I go ahead and play this one, because I never watched the anime, because I think the anime is now really boring, or it's always been boring, but now I'm grown up, I can't watch it. And I just don't really like any of the gym leaders. Like there's no attachment that I have.
For Gen 5,
town.
right?
Yeah, for Gen 5.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say the anime has always had like some sort of influence, especially with Gen 1. I feel like if I never grew up with a Pokemon anime, I probably wouldn't really care for Gen 1 that much. But
yeah, same.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. Like I actually did also watch the anime all the way up to Gen 4. I did watch a little bit of Gen 5, but it was just so bad I just dropped it. I didn't really care for the characters following Ash around. I did like the gym leaders from Gen 5 though. Some of them, like the 8th gym leader was pretty. The 8th gym leaders are always pretty cool. I thought like Iris and whoever the other dude is, I forgot his name, but I had Black, so I fought the other dude. I thought he was pretty cool. I do like the first gym, how like they change it up where it's like you fight the gym leader that's super effective to your starter. Like I think that's like it's a good change up. Even though the annoying thing is that it kind of forces you to get one of the monkeys, which usually like no one really wants the monkeys. But other than that, like it was interesting. The gym leaders,
yeah,
they weren't like anything crazy, but they were like all right. There were some decent ones.
Yeah, I think there was probably some decent ones. I can't think of them on the top of my head, but yeah,
the electric gym leader was cool. The model,
yeah, I like the model. That one was cool. Maybe, but I usually like all electric gyms. Like I get excited when I see an electric gym, just because electric types are my favorite, and I just like them a lot. Mm-hmm. And their designs, and usually the way how the gym is designed, is just really good. But other than that, yeah, I have to agree with the monkey one. I really hated that, but I can understand why they put it they put it in was so to make people feel like, okay, this is how super effective works and this is how that works, which started this whole fucking downhill thing. Because like I don't know, nobody in like 4th gen they never told you, oh yeah, this is super effective, like you should do this. Like you just learn, you just know it. So I think with 5th gen, I think we're done. Or is there anything else anybody would want to put in?
I'm done with 5th gen.